They bout to look at the shit that I'm on, why don't we get in topic? Crew looking like Pentatonics, locked in, recording in tropics. In the East Big 3, Big Bronzy B, way good, he working on optics. Thought biz while smoking exotics, we lit, never thought about it. Just live out the look at the shit that I'm on, why don't we get in topics? Sitting way back, all black, I'm talking, feeling like Shaq, I weigh my options. In the East Big 3, Big Bronzy B, way good, he working on optics. Thought biz while smoking exotics, it's RCR the project, it's saucy.
What is up? What is up? What is up? Welcome, welcome. RCR Presents MSD Sports. My name is Sam, also known as YBK. We got Mikey over here, and we got Camden over here. And let's go, episode 22. Mikey, introduce yourself. Mikey, introduce yourself.
What's poppin', everybody? It's your boy Michael John. You can find me at Michael John DeStefano on Insta. Coming to you from Boston, Massachusetts, 02135. Y'all know what it is. I'm ready to talk some ball today.
Yes, sir. Camden, what is up?
What's going on? You know what it is. It's your boy, Camden Lee, a.k.a. Mr. Club Paradise. And you know where I'm at. MSD Sports. I'm with the greatest trio ever assembled. I can't believe it. Episode 22. Let's go get this money. It's NBA time.
Woo.
And I'm excited on some other things that we're going to be talking about on the docket because we got little things. GM Sam's going to be talking about some big money that people are getting. And the NBA is in full force, and we're getting ready for the end of the season. So I'm really excited about this episode. YBK.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what we doing? Talk to me,
yes,
baby.
Yes, sir. MSD Sports, episode 22, everybody. Damn. This episode going to be special. We're going NBA deep dive, guys. We're going legit deep dive. This episode is going to be all about NBA. I just want to start it off with the crazy overtime Knicks-Lakers game last night, everybody. A lot has happened in that game, but let's talk about the game first. And I mean, let's talk about the game. Jalen Brunson with his boys coming into LA, Crypto Arena. Jalen Brunson balled out, 39 points, 10 assists, 4 rebounds. But that minute, 24 seconds left in overtime, getting that sprained ankle in that awkward position, bumping into Austin, really hurt that team. And I feel like the Lakers just took over with LeBron James and the crew with Luka Doncic. LeBron going 31, 12, and 8, almost triple-double. He played 44 minutes, guys, the most out of the whole squad. Luka going 32, 12, and 7. But I mean, when I saw this game, when LeBron was shooting those free throws in that overtime and getting those MVP chants, and I'm like, man, I just feel like more praise is going to have to be brought down to the king. But yeah, let's talk about this, man. This game was amazing. How'd you guys feel about this?
I mean, guys, I was lucky enough living on the West Coast. I was able to catch it pretty early, so I didn't have to stay up too late. I know for some of you guys had to stay a little later when it came to the overtime situation. So your boy's feeling pretty well rested. Guys, 40 years old, LeBron James. I don't know what to tell you. I spoke about this a little bit in the previous episode. He is looking like the king. I mean, he is the king. He's looking like the GOAT, to be honest. I mean, in terms of our generation and someone that I've been able to see since they came into the league, no one is doing this. And I think the MVP chants, especially in the crypto arena, I think we're well deserved. I know he probably won't win MVP this year just because you got Luka, you got other things, situations happening. However, he is the greatest player to ever touch a basketball after 35 years old. I'm telling you this right now. He the greatest ever. Okay. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care if it's MJ versus LeBron. 35 plus, it's all LeBron. You know what I mean? Maybe before that we could talk about MJ, but the big story here, I think, is Jalen Brunson. 39 points, 10 assists, unbelievable. I felt like if he stayed in that game, they would have won. I think it was a tough game. I think it was a hard-nosed fight. You had Austin Reeves coming back from injury. He didn't really do well when it came to shooting. You know what I mean? When he played a lot of cardio when it came to that. But however, I think this could be a possible, dare we say, finals matchup. I don't know, but I'd love to hear what Mikey has to say. In terms of the Knicks, because how did you feel about how the Knicks put up a fight against LA with the two GOATs?
Yeah, I mean, it was a good game. Versus them putting up a fight, like they were winning the game. They were up by 10 with like 5 minutes left in the game, so they should have won the game. It's the Lakers defense that wins it again for them. Like, I mean, yeah, Luka and LeBron played well, but the reason why they won the game is because they held the Knicks to 15 points in the fourth quarter. That's why the Lakers won this game. And I said it last episode, I've been saying it. Their defense is directly equivalent to their success. Like LeBron James should be top 5 in MVP voting. I think he is. Yes, he's great. Luka's playing great, but we know these guys are going to play great. Where the real concern for the Lakers comes in is like they traded member for Dorian Finney-Smith. Like, is he going to play well? Well, he's fitting in really well because that boy is clamps. Like long, lanky defender, no Diddy, very long. So and Gabe Vincent came back and actually played well.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
I'm still not like I'm not. I think they will have sustained success. I'm still not like a huge buyer into the Lakers yet. Like I just want to see them play a playoff series at this point versus like a decent team because I do feel like they're better than the lower tier teams. It's a huge win against the Knicks. Definitely would not bet my money that this would be a finals matchup, but definitely like a competitive matchup, big time ball, New York versus Los Angeles. Like that's big money right there. So yeah,
As what you said about Gabe, I mean those three threes he scored in that fourth quarter, they're definitely pivotal, and then definitely led to overtime. But yeah, the supporting cast this game definitely helped a lot, along with the defense, with the star power. So I feel like every area of the game was clicking yesterday for the Lakers, especially in overtime. So yeah, it was pretty cool.
Jackson
But
Hayes.
yeah, it was Jackson
Hayes shut
Hayes.
down Cat.
He did
Like
he did
Cat,
get fouled out, but yes, he did shut down Cat. He didn't do
yeah,
much in
he
offense.
shut down Cat though because Cat's been having a great year, right? But he's kind of slowly. We were hearing him in MVP talks early
Yeah.
on in the season. Maybe not Jokic and SGA, but like top 3, 4, 5. He's kind of quietly, 12 and 14 in 42 minutes for Cat. It's not gonna cut it.
Yeah, the
right?
Brunson's like,
On
yo,
the
it's my
road.
time. It's my time. This is me.
And it's crazy when you look at kind of this box score too. It's
Yeah.
like in the last, two frames in terms of fourth quarter and overtime, you hold them to under 20 points. 15 points in the fourth, 10 in overtime. And I think it's one of those things where it's like, you know, is LeBron being able to rest those first 2 quarters really make a big difference for the rest of the squad? Is it the fact that this supporting cast has a lot of experience in terms of playing difficult minutes and playing playoff basketball? You think about Gabe Vincent, you think about Jonas Finney-Smith. Like these guys played. He played with Luka, so he, what I mean, he kind of knows. Okay, this is kind of where he wants to be, and I think I'm really excited to kind of see what the Lakers are going to do moving forward. I think this game was kind of a tale of two cities. You got the city in the West, okay, ascending, 8th straight win. You got the city in the North, fighting, kind of trying to keep ground. And I think you saw one kind of ascending and one kind of descending in a sense, and kind of getting exposed.
Yes.
One thing that I did want to talk about during this game or after this game, two of my favorite people kind of got into it. Two of my unks, you know what I'm saying? We call them, the talk of the unks. I had my man Stephen A. Smith, one of my analysts, my analyst uncle, and then I had LeBron James, my basketball uncle, they was getting into it on the sidelines. And I didn't really get to see exactly because I was so caught up in the hoopla of the Lakers winning. Mikey, can you talk to the viewers and kind of let them know what was happening? What was going on between these two unks? You know what I'm saying? I'm just confused.
Yeah, it wasn't the only game, the only competition that we seen on the court last night. Because at the end of the game, LBJ had some choice words for one Stephen A. Smith. I will say this: I feel like Stephen A. kind of came out. Obviously he just re-signed his contract, which maybe GM Sam could tell us about because we know he's a numbers guy. But on his star show, First Take, he was talking about it this morning. I think LBJ is more mad. It wasn't. He said LeBron didn't come to me as like a basketball player. He came to me as a father, and it has to do with all of the comments surrounding Bronny because you know how people been talking crazy about Bronny. I feel like we've kind of been like, listen, what are we seeing from Bronny? Like, what is this ball that we seeing him play? So the criticism is fair in a sense. But I think LeBron obviously as a father and as one of the greats, bro, like has a right to kind of say, watch the way you talk about my son. And essentially that's what it came down to.
Mm, mm. YBK, I heard some money on the flow. What's going on? Stephen A. Smith got some bread. What happened?
He got bread, guys. He re-signed his contract with ESPN Disney for a 5-year, $100 million contract, guys. This man, this is like I gotta say, like a 4-star player's salary, and you know what I'm saying? Let me 3.5 4-star player salary here. We're talking, and this man Stephen A. Smith. I mean, you know, we all love him. I love him. I love his energy, and I feel like everyone feels the same way. Cause man, this man, you know, kind of that First Take show is almost his show, you know. And everyone knows, everyone watches that every morning. But man, that 5-year, $100 million, that's crazy, guys. Oh my! I mean, I'm sure that's fully guaranteed, you know, cause it's like a work thing, you know.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
There was a couple details
Yeah.
that I feel like that are interesting about it. That the fact that the sources, which is unnamed due to ESPN and Disney not wanting to,
Mm.
share the terms of the deal, they said Stephen A. won't be obligated as much to appear as like a guest on other segments. So like on other shows, like he won't be as expected to do it. He still may pop up on Monday Night Football or like get NBA game night, but he also has the freedom to speak about like the politics more, like literally like
Oh.
our country more and stuff.
okay.
That he has a little bit more of a right to bring that into, not keeping it strictly sports talk. So
Oh.
respect to him because that's like what a journalist should do. Like you want to be able to speak your mind and speak your
Yeah.
piece.
Wow, that's
So
pretty
I kind
cool.
of like that.
That's amazing. I mean, as young journalists, as you know, what I mean, guys, as MSD guys, you know, what I mean, we're trying to get to that place, and that's Stephen A. Smith has been in our homes, been on our TVs, been on our phones for a number of years. So, I mean, him being able to transcend not only from, I mean, the kind of the Peyton grindstone, which guys, for some of our listeners, back in the day, you had to go to the game in person, you had to take notes in person. You had to interview players in person. You weren't able to watch a lot of these games, via satellite or all these things. You weren't able to see these players in different arenas. You had to travel. And Stephen A. Smith comes from that era. So I got to give him his flowers when it comes to that situation.
Mm.
So being able to transcend from being able to talk about just sports and now talk about life. I think, I mean, that's something that's just unbelievable. And I shout out to Disney because, they be putting the cuffs on mugs 99% of the time. So, um, but yeah, I mean, how do we feel about him talking about Bronny? I want to talk to YBK real quick. I wanted to ask, like, do you feel like it's justified in this situation, or do you feel like at the end of the day, like, I'm saying, Stephen A. Smith's doing his job, and this is just part of his job?
I mean, when you see what he says like about Bronny now after LeBron goes, keep my son out of this,
Oh, well, I
and then
got you.
he says I hope he flourishes into NBA star, I don't know anyone who roots against him. It certainly isn't me. So like basically Stephen A. Smith now, I'm sure like because I remember him talking about Bronny like about what he did in USC. And there's also talks, if you see like the viral videos of Jalen Brown talking to this woman, I don't know who she was, about
Mhm.
Bronny, about like, oh, why is he here? Or like he's not ready to be there. And
Yeah.
there's another video that surfaced where LeBron in the All-Star game, he hugs everybody, but he only handshakes Jalen Brown. So it's like a thing where it's like, just I feel like Bron's just showing too, like just keep Bronny out of this, like I think Mikey set this point where it's like how Bronny has all that NBA thing because of LeBron James, because of what his dad is or who he is. But like, I'm sure LeBron sees that, I'm sure Bronny sees that. So I'm sure there's LeBron's just trying to get that separate and just
I
keep
feel
it,
that.
keep Bronny a own ball player on who he is. Because in the G League, Bronny's been balling. I've been seeing like. So it's not like the NBA where he's like getting like low minutes, but in the G League he's been getting minutes, he's been playing and he's been doing well. So yeah, let's see.
How many second round picks are we really talking about when it comes to the NBA? You know what I'm saying? We give those things out like water. So I understand. I can see the situation. I can see the situation. You know. A little
It did
sensitive.
feel like, I mean, in fairness to Stephen A. Smith, like I think like it's a fair assessment to say it seemed like it was a forced situation or manipulated situation. Like LeBron saying, "I want to be the first father-son duo ever in the NBA. Let's draft Bronny," and they're like, "Okay, yes, King."
Yep.
Like, I mean, let's call. We got to
Spade
be
a spade.
real. Like,
Call a spade a spade.
do you blame Stephen A for saying like how most journalists said like this feels forced? So is Bronny a good basketball player? Obviously, because we've seen what he's done in the G League, you know,
Yep.
averaging whatever 13, 14 points a game, a few assists, a few rebounds, but his defense is good. He could shoot. It's just hard to ask someone who needs to develop their skills, who only played what, 20, 25, 30 games at USC,
Yep.
to develop your skills on the bench, a second round draft pick next to maybe the greatest basketball player of all time, who's your father.
Yeah.
So it's just a lot to ask of him. In fairness, LeBron also reserves the right to say, "Don't talk about keep my son's name out your mouth."
Listen, let them know. Let them know.
Like, even in USC,
So
Bronny wasn't playing much too. It's not like he was like starting. So that was the thing too. When I went to USC to watch Bronny play, and Bron was in the building. Savannah was there, and but like Bronny didn't play much, and he only scored like one layup, and he missed those 2 threes, and I was like, But that's the thing. Like I feel like you just have to give him time to develop, and I feel like Bronny could definitely, because he's under the best mentorship of all time, right? So, he got all that set up. We just, because we just have to believe that he's gonna develop into that star that we want him to be.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. I mean,
Yeah.
one thing we do know, with the Lakers in this 8th straight win, playing the New York Knicks, they have solidified, their place in second for second. They're looking pretty good. They're a half game, 10 games back from the Thunder, so they ain't gonna catch first. But the Nuggets only a half game back from them. How are we feeling about the Lakers? I know, we talk about the West Coast first. Sometimes we talk about the East. We don't talk about the West right now since we're already over here. How are we feeling about the Lakers? Are we thinking, this 2 seed is going to sit well with them?
I think right now you take out the Nets in the next future game. So right now the Lakers have the Celtics coming up tomorrow at TD Garden in Boston. Big test. This is a huge test coming off an 8-game winning streak, you know what I'm saying? And then they have the Nets. It's like, but then they have the Bucks, Nuggets, Suns. So it's like those 4 teams are gonna these 5 games are gonna be a big test here, and let's see. I mean, if they can take them on, and they have the Nuggets again at Crypto again after they go to Ball Arena in Denver. So we'll see. I mean, Mikey, how do you feel about these Lakers? They're 8 games in a row.
it's a good matchup. Let's see. I mean, I don't think, unfortunately, they're not going to get a full Celtics squad because Celtics have this is the same story as last year. Even though they're like still looked at as one of the better teams, if not the best team in the league, Drew Holiday still ain't ready. Porzingis has been out 4 or 5 games in a row. So you're not going to get a full Celtics. You're not going to get the full starting 5 from the Celtics right now. But it doesn't matter. We're still a great team. Celtics are a better road team than they are a home team this year. We have the most wins on the road, tied with Oklahoma City this year. And the Lakers are not a particularly good road team.
They're really good
500. They're 25-7 at the Staples, but they're 15-14 on the road. So this is a huge like test right here.
Yes.
This 4-game road trip is a huge test for the Lakers, because if they can go home 18 wins on the road, go 3-1 on this road stretch, then that's good. But if they go 500 or 1-3, then like you can still miss me with the Lakers in the NBA Finals talk, right? You gotta win some big games on the road.
Have to.
Yeah.
How
we'll see.
I feel like it's like, especially like you talk about the Celtics and the Lakers, how the Lakers are kind of ascending and the Celtics have been a little hurt and they're kind of getting ready for the playoffs. Like I'm wondering about these teams, right? You got teams like Houston who are kind of teetering. You got guys like the Thunder who are doing pretty well. Are teams kind of just getting ready for the playoffs right now, or is it like the teams that are kind of hit first place, like even our Celtics, like are the Celtics kind of getting ready for the playoffs? Like, let's get everybody healthy. Pritchard and White can score 80 points to combine. Like, what's you know what I'm saying? Let's just get everybody right, and then let's kind of get situated.
The good teams are getting ready for it. The teams that have been to the playoffs, but teams like the Lakers and the Warriors, like in the West, they have to like click and have their best stretches of the year, just like they're doing right now. Like this is the Lakers' best stretch of the year. This is the Warriors' best stretch of the year, and like it's a must for them. For teams like the Oklahoma City Thunder, the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Boston Celtics, really like it's kind of like you're good, right? The Knicks in a way should want to win because they can't beat any team that's in the top two seedings. They're 0-9 against any team that's in the top two of the seeding at the time. So for the Knicks, that win last night would have been a big win for them, you know?
Yeah.
But for a team like the Lakers and the Warriors, who were kind of looked at as not really like threats, this is crucial for them to kind of maintain the momentum. The question is, do you think both the Lakers and the Golden State Warriors can maintain their momentum? Like, which one is more likely to maintain this momentum?
I mean, I'm looking at the standings, right? We got Oklahoma City's 1, Lakers are 2, Denver's 3, Memphis is 4, Rockets are 5, Golden State is 6. And we got Minnesota, Clippers, Kings, Mavs. I mean, I don't see Golden State sustaining this against the Thunder or the Nuggets. Like I see them clicking because it's like, oh, I think an infuse of Jimmy, but I'm kind of looking at these other teams and I'm like, I would take the Lakers over Golden State in terms of figuring out like, okay, if I had to put my money on a team to go further this year, I think I would definitely put my money on the Lakers. Just because I saw Golden State go out to a great run first 10, 15 games and then get killed. Like, you know what I mean? Just murdered. So I don't know. YBK, what do we think?
For me, if the question is like, who are you choosing, the Lakers or the Warriors right now? I would go on your side, David. I'll choose the Lakers here. Now I'm biased. I'm a Lakers fan, but now I'm biased here because if you look at the superstars here, right? The teams that, the Warriors, they have Curry and they have Jimmy. That's their superstars. And you go to the Lakers, they got LeBron and they got Luka. The reason why I chose that there's a simple reason, guys. Age. Luka's 25. Curry's 37 I'm sorry. Curry's 36, I think.
Yep.
And Jimmy's coming like 34.
33, 34, yeah.
Come on, and then LeBron is like, even though he's 40, he's averaging like, top five MVP.
Like
yeah, top 5 MVP, playing like he's like Miami. Well, not Miami, but when he came back, Cleveland, I guess. That kind of Bron. And then like Curry's still like 20, 22, 23 overall, I think, in the season. So like, I feel like the Lakers' overall star power, like 25-year-old Luka is gonna be, and he's coming back, guys. Like Luka's coming to form. Like I know, like when he first came along to the Lakers, his first 3 games was kind of rough because he hasn't played since Christmas because of his injury. So like now he's like kind of back. The All-Star game, like he rested, fully ready to go. We saw that Nuggets game where that game really proved like, all right, Luka magic is happening. Like we're seeing like what kind of LeBron and like Jeannie Buss and the Lakers organization kind of like thought of now. It's like, okay, when he comes back, he's gonna look like this, and we're keep on seeing that as a habit now, guys. So like now I'm starting to believe like this little Luka magic is touching the Lakers, So I feel like I'm choosing the Lakers over the Warriors here.
I feel like you guys are jumping to like playoff thought though. I mean, if we're talking about the rest of the regular season, like if we're talking about who I would pick in a playoff series right now, I would pick the Lakers. But if we're talking about who has a better chance to kind of sustain the success, like each of them are 8-2 in their last 10. Yeah. In the regular season, Golden State has the 19th like least difficult schedule. So like the Lakers have the fifth hardest schedule for the rest of the year based on opponents' winning percentage. Now, sometimes that can be it doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna perform well or perform worse because I feel like matchups like kind of dictate this or injuries, etc. Right? But if you are looking at like the strength of schedule, Golden State's in the bottom 2/3 percentage, whereas the Lakers have the fifth hardest schedule for the rest of the year, right? The opponent's winning percentage. So I would say this when it comes to a playoff series, we've watched both Luka win a series for a team single-handedly, LeBron win a series for a team single-handedly, Jimmy Butler win a series for a team single-handedly, and Steph Curry win a series for a team single-handedly. So I kind of feel like it is they both teams have two players each who could single-handedly will you to win a playoff series. So I would love like my dream scenario looking at this is I hope that Golden State stays in the sixth slot. And I hope that the Lakers fall to the third seed because I would
They
love
verse
nothing
each other.
more than the first round of the playoffs to be Golden State versus Los Angeles. That would be great. They are going to play too. In the rest of this in their schedules right now. They play April 3rd.
Oh yeah,
So
at
that's
crypto.
a litty game. We'll have to see, but both teams have some tough matchups still. Like the Warriors' next three is Knicks, Nuggets, Bucks.
That's why I'm concerned. It's like, okay, when it comes to the Warriors, like being able to sustain, okay, getting in that sixth spot and staying in that sixth spot, compared to at least the Lakers staying in that two slot. You know what I mean? They might drop to 3 with Denver depending on that matchup. And I think, like you said, that's going to be a prime time matchup. You know what I mean? Seeing them, but yeah, I mean, I'm just a little concerned with Golden State. Like I'm seeing them and I'm liking what I'm seeing, but I'm also seeing Steph doing a lot at the end of the day too. You know what I mean? And Jimmy's with those back spasms. So, we'll see. I mean, looking at the East though, this is the real question. This is the real meat and potatoes of the whole NBA right now. Do we think because Cleveland just clinched, right? They just clinched. Yep. They clinched a playoff berth, so they chilling. We cooling on that. Celtics, they cool. We might be all right.
Mm-hmm.
Do we think the Celtics or are we thinking the Bucks are going to be able to kind of sustain some of this situation? Because I'm looking at the Bucks. The Bucks are playing well recently. The Celtics, who I think are still the greatest team in basketball, they got some injuries. People coming in out of the lineup, cohesiveness. How are we feeling about these two teams? You know what I mean? Especially Milwaukee.
Milwaukee been balling.
For real.
I mean, balling. Mr. Giannis Antetokounmpo been showing that he is him right now in his team, but along with his partner Dame too. And these Bucks last what? Where are they right now? The top 4? Yeah, top 4, and they were 8-2 in their last 10 games. They're good in the second half right now, and I feel like even Giannis, I think, came up. We're gonna talk about it a little later about the MVP, but Giannis is kind of creeping up too in his stock in the MVP ladder as well. So, but in terms of Bucks and Celtics now, like right now of today, like we just talked about how the Celtics aren't like fully ready of their starting 5.
Yeah.
Bucks could have an advantage because the Bucks right now, their starting 5 is there. It's ready. Like it's ready to go as of today. So as of today, as we speak, I will kind of if it feels like a Bucks Celtics game right now, regular season, Bucks could have a chance to win, definitely, in my opinion.
Yeah, because I'm kind of looking at the Celtics right now, and I'm looking at the Bucks, and the Bucks are 5 games out of second. You know what I mean? And I think New York is going to teeter. I'm not really too concerned about them. I feel like it's going to be a 2-man race for this second seed. And like I said, Mikey, like I'm a little concerned. How do you feel about the cohesiveness of the Celtics coming in this kind of like it's about to enter the fourth quarter of the season? How do we feel about them kind of gaining that cohesiveness, getting into the playoffs? We're not talking about the playoffs yet. We're just kind of just saying these last 20, 15 games. Are you concerned at all about where they're at? Do you feel, what do you think?
I mean, compared to the Bucks, like I mean, it's like not even like in the same ballpark that the Celtics have way more cohesiveness because the Bucks added Kevin Porter Jr., who obviously had his drama, and he's like one of their new pieces. Bobby Portis got suspended 25 games for taking tramadol and saying that he thought it was Toradol, and they traded for Kyle Kuzma, who's still looking mid. So it's like I'm not really sure that I'd say I'm scared of the Bucks. Like I would love to play the Bucks. The Celtics like always beat the Bucks in the playoffs. Like I feel like that's been kind of going back since when we would have those like 7 game battles. Even like when we would go down like 3 games to 2, Celtics come back and beat the Bucks. I don't know. It's the last chance for I feel like for Dame. So I guess that's something that I would say to be kind of a little bit like you know what I mean? A little bit scared about. Like Giannis is Giannis. Dame is, Dame Dalla. He's never done it in the playoffs, and he wants one, but I'm not. I don't think so. I don't see it. And Celtics also like. Well, I'll jump back over to tell you guys that like for strength of schedule, Celtics have the third easiest, and Bucks have seventh hardest. So
Wow.
I'm not worried about it. I feel like we're chilling in a way. We have what? We're sitting on 45 wins. Bucks are sitting on 36.
Yeah.
So you know what? That's a lot of ground to make up. I feel like it's a lot of ground to make up. I think that they're they can catch the Knicks for the third seed.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Um, but I wouldn't be so surprised. Like, I mean, I feel like there's other dark horse teams that I would feel like Bucks are on a good run right now, but I actually feel like Detroit has been on a more impressive run. I kind of like what Detroit's doing. I think that for me, even though this award is like we talk about it like most improved player, which is like a weird thing because someone can be like on the verge of being an all-star and then just have such a big jump that they're the most improved player, kind of like SGA. But Cade, man, he has been incredible. So a team like that who's been on like a hot run, like I like seeing that. Like I feel like that's like they got a little maybe they have a little bit of potential,
Detroit, you
but
think Detroit could catch up to fourth? You think they could jump in the seeding
yeah.
this last
I mean they're only a game and a half back. They're a game and a half back, right? Or no, they're 2 games back right now from
Bucks.
Milwaukee. Milwaukee's a good home team, 21-9 at home, but they are 14-16 on the road.
Yeah.
Detroit's just like a decent team overall, 17-14 at home, 18-14 on the road. So I feel like the road games are very important because when you're going into these end of the year stretches of your road trips, it's going to be even harder. So if you're already not a great road team, it's not going to get no easier toward this back end of the year, right? But when you got an MVP candidate like Giannis, I'm not putting it past them. I'm not feeling more. If you're a Celtics player like team, if we're looking at the Celtics like in relativity of the Eastern Conference, like Cleveland should be. I don't know why Cleveland isn't the favorite to come out the East right now. Truthfully, like I love the Celtics, but Cleveland has been the best team in the East this year, if not the best team in the NBA. So
But
I'm a little bit.
We've seen them play the Celtics though, and they lose. We've seen them play the Celtics.
Yeah, but they beat them too though. We've played 4 times. It's 2-2, isn't it? So it's like, you know what I mean? Like we split the season series.
I think we might. I might split.
I think we split the season series. So it's like I'm not so sure why. And we were also up 25-2 and then lost the last game. So it's
that's
like
why I'm not.
You know
that's why
I mean?
feel like. That's why I feel like I'm not worried about it because I feel like they've been. You know what I mean? Especially with the Celtics, I'm more like, hey, like you guys know what y'all about to do when y'all hop in the playoffs. Y'all just gotta just maintain a seeding where you don't want to play somebody that you don't want to play, but there's nobody that you really are afraid of. But I'm kind of I was just looking at like the games back in terms of the East. It's like it's a pretty tight race from 3 to 6. 3 to 6 is a tight little window. So I'm like, we're looking at these standings now, but they might get shuffled up. And I was just kind of wondering if you thought maybe the Celtics would drop. But I think Cleveland is solidified. They'll be the number 1 seed. Not too worried about it. It looks like the Celtics is nothing major catastrophe. They won't drop to 3rd. They'll play the 2 seed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And call it a day. So
Yeah.
You did mention the MVP, and you know how I've been a little distraught because my man Joker might be running away with another one, but my man GM Sam told me about a couple things that I need them to let the people know about because there's some movement on the latter. So tell him, Pimpin, what's going on? What's going on?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. MVP ladder. Mr. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander from the OKC Thunder team was number 2 last week in the MVP ladder, but climbed up to get the number 1 MVP spot right now. He is averaging 32.8, 5.1 rebounds, 6.2 assists, and he got that 50 point. And yes, and that's no joke, right? He had no 50 pieces before the season. Now he has 450 points this season, guys. So, and then now my boy Nikola Jokic goes down from number 1 to number 2, averaging 28.8, 12.8, 10.4. I mean, it's crazy. He's averaging a triple-double, guys. And I still think he's the MVP right now in my heart. But we have a surprise. Not a surprise, but he's been grinding. We just talked about him. The Milwaukee Bucks. Their power forward, Mr. Giannis Antetokounmpo, was number 4 and now climbs up to number 3, averaging 30.8, 12.1, and 5.9. So he's been balling with the Milwaukee Bucks. And they were 8-2 now in the last 10. So they've been balling. But David, SGA, 50 piece McNugget. What?
Listen. Y'all know how I feel. You know what I mean? Giannis is my cousin. I appreciate my dog. You know what I'm saying? He got the better genes. He's about 7 something. I'm about 5 something. It's all good. Still love my boy. However, I've been on the SGA train all year. I felt like he was getting close last year, and I'm just hoping. I'm hoping that he keeps delivering because it's not over. You think that 50 burger is going to be like, oh, I'm going to put the nail in the coffin? Man, that just puts you at the neck and neck at the race. You still got to take that little extra step. I need another 40. I need a 15 assists, maybe a 10 or 12 rebound situation. I need you to step it up in gear a little bit more. I need you to win against the teams that you need to win against, and I need you not to lose to the teams that you should never lose to. But I'm excited with SGA. Y'all know how I feel. I've been championing this brother all year. I think he deserves it. He's taking an extra step. Mikey, how we feel about these standings? I got my cousin. I got SGA in this mug. I feel pretty good today.
I feel like as he dropped the 50 piece, like people just like big scoring games, right? And they're just they have 50 wins already too. So if you're asking me, I don't feel like I'm not mad that the NBA, because NBA.com is not like they're just making this is an article that they're like from their archive that they're choosing. This doesn't mean that this is how the vote is going to go.
Right.
And interestingly enough, basketballreference.com, which is another huge website that tracks these races every year, still has Jokic in the first place.
Ooh.
And just as a slight insight, basketballreference.com has been right for the last 5 MVPs. So it's like, I don't know. To be honest, it's so close right now that it's like interesting. But I'm going to tell you this, right? I'm going to give you the probability percentage that basketballreference.com is telling for Nikola Jokic. They're calculating 62.3% probability for Nikola Jokic to win MVP, 30% for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to win MVP. Everyone else is like minuscule amounts, right? Those are it's a 2-man race for sure.
Wow.
I'm not hating, I guess, because you drop 50 and there's nothing crazy. Jokic had the little tweak; he tweaked up a little bit. They're playing back to back. I think this is going to decide it, guys. Like, remember when a couple years back, Joel Embiid, I feel like, was playing Jokic, and it was like whoever pops off more, like whoever does 40 and 10, 40 and 15, or like, and their team wins, is very, very important.
Yeah.
So I'm not hating. I'm fine. You can let him have the so-called first place spot right now. I still feel like Jokic is the MVP. I don't know what to say besides, like, if we're looking in like NBA, like PER, right? Or like how in MLB it's WAR.
Yeah.
There's no way that Shai is above Jokic. I'm
Not even
sorry.
close.
There's just no way.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm at a loss of words for how spectacular Nikola Jokic is. So, sheesh, let's see what happens when they play each other.
Yeah,
That's what I'll say.
that
Let's
back
see
to
what
back will
happens
be
when they.
crazy because for the Thunder they got the two Nuggets games at home and then they go to TD Garden versus Celtics.
If he has a stretch on, if he has a 3-game stretch on that, where Shea's putting up 36, 38, 40, 42 on one of those games and consistently doing 36 and 10 or 36, 8 and 8, maybe he might get it. But like I said,
But what if Giannis goes like 30, 10, 10, 30, 30,
Giannis got to
50?
drop two.
No, not Giannis. I'm sorry. Jokic. Jokic goes like 30,
Listen,
30,
Jokic,
10,
if Jokic
10.
drops 150 burger, it's over. If he drops one in the for the entire season, for the rest of the season, yeah, I think there's 15, 17 games left. If he drops one game where he drops 50 points,
Imagine like
over.
a 50, like 17,
or 46,
14.
17, and 12.
Like
it's
some
over.
50-point triple-double.
Something crazy. Like if he drops more than 40, has over 15
Triple-double.
rebounds or assists, and then plus 12, whatever, it's over.
Oh.
Like it's just the man is unbelievable. I'm just happy my boys are on the list. I'm happy Giannis is on the list. I'm happy my cousin on the list. You know what I'm saying? That's my boy. And I'm also happy SGA is getting his love. Now, do I think SGA is gonna win? I ain't putting no money on the floor when it comes to that. But, you know. But you know what I'm saying? But I'm happy. I'm happy they're on the list.
Word.
It's nice to be refreshing. And
Hell yeah.
I always like new stars. So, I mean, guys, we just talked about the MVP. You know what I mean? I know that Joker's probably gonna take the next one. It's all good. But my boys are on the list. The real question. The $1 million situation, right? We got a couple games left, about a dozen or so games left. Who is making it into the playoffs, and who are they playing? I know it's going to be a minute, and I know we're going to talk about this later. You know what I mean? We're going to have a whole another situation. We'll talk about playoffs, talk about the races, talk about everything like that. But I'd like to know, before we let the viewers go, where are we at, YBK? What's going on? What is
You're talking about who's gonna make it?
who's in? Who's in right? Who do we think is in right now? If the season stopped today,
Yeah.
who's in?
Okay, I got you. If the season
YBK,
stopped,
you take the West. You take the West. I'll take the East.
Oh,
YBK.
okay.
You go West.
I'll go West Coast. In the West Coast, everybody. If the season ended today, we gonna start with the play-in with the 9th and 10th seed. The Mavericks will be versing the Kings. That'll be interesting. And then we'll have the Clippers against the Timberwolves. And then now, of course, with the new playoff rule, the winner of the 7th and 8th game will verse the 2nd seed, will become the 7th seed, and the loser will verse the winner of the 9th and 10th seed game, and the loser of that just gets eliminated. And then the winner of those two games will be the 8th seed, who verse the Thunder, and then 3 and 6 will be the Nuggets and the Warriors. That'll be very interesting to see. And then we'll see the Grizzlies and the Rockets to wrap it up with the youngin teams. You know what I'm saying? That Grizzlies versus Rockets will be a great youth kind of playoff bracket right there. But yeah, the West Coast will be pretty crazy to see.
And the Lakers will be what? We'd be playing the 7th seed, something like that?
Yeah, exactly. We'll versus the 7th seed, the winner of the 7th and 8th game, Clippers versus Timberwolves.
Okay. What's going on in the East, Mikey? What's going on in the East?
Right now, if the season ended, we got the Cavs are locked up in that first. They're not going to lose that first place seed. They'd have to have a catastrophe. Celtics sitting in the 2nd spot. Knicks sitting at 3. Bucks at 4. Pacers at 5. Pistons have surged up to the 6th, so not in a play-in this year. Big turnaround.
I like that.
The Heat are sitting at 7 with a losing record. The Hawks are sitting at 8 with a losing record. The Magic are sitting at 9 with a losing record. And lastly, the Chicago Bulls are sitting at 10. So if you're looking at who's on the periphery as well, just if someone might be able to sneak into that 10th spot, the Bulls are 25 and 38 at the 10th seed. both the Nets and the 76ers are at 21 and 41. So I'm going to just give this take to y'all right now and say, I actually, and this is a little bit different than the last time we looked at it, because I was thinking the Mavericks might fall out of their spot. I think this playoff bracket is all the teams who are in the playoffs. I'm not saying the seeding is the same, but this is every team who's going to make the playoffs this year. I don't think none of the people on the periphery are going to make it.
In the East?
Or anywhere. I think
You
the
think in the
whole
West
playoff
you can
bracket
go?
right now
Really?
is all of the teams that are going to make the playoffs. I don't think the Mavericks are bad enough. I think they might like the Suns. I don't see it. I just don't see it.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
was just about to say, like, that would be the only thing for me. Like, maybe the substitution with Mavs and Suns for me, but the East, I feel like it's set
Yeah.
in terms of those teams, those 10
Yeah.
teams.
I mean, the real question is going to be the seeding, and I think that's why we're really excited. We got, there's still that fourth quarter of the season left. We got about a dozen or so more games. We got a
we got
couple
20. A lot of teams got 20 games left
got
right now.
20
19
games.
to
Oh
20.
my God,
So
19 to 20 games left. Oh,
yeah, exactly. So
That's
there's a lot
crazy.
of movement that can be done, 18, 19, 20 games. So this is what I'll say to y'all. What is your like I kind of gave y'all a preview already for my West, like a series that I would really, really love for the first round, which is I would love the Warriors to stay in the 6th seed and the Lakers to fall into that 3 spot so that we could see a Lakers Warriors matchup in the first round. That's like my dream matchup for the West. Do y'all have any like dream matchups for the West in the first round?
I think I would really, really, really like to see the Nuggets and the Rockets play. I'd love to see what the young Bulls do against, Russ and the crew, and seeing if they can. And I want to see what Denver can do in terms of running with a team. I think that would be a really interesting series to me in the West. It would tell a lot about what is to come, I think, in the playoffs. YBK, what about you?
I feel like in the West, I mean, it'd be hard to see the matchup in the first round, but I want to see the revenge of the Nuggets and Lakers. Because I remember when the Nuggets were 2nd seed and then the Lakers were 7th seed, and then they versed, and it was like, so I want like a crazy rematch, but I know right now it's kind of tough to see the 2nd and 3rd seed to go against each other. But I know in the next round, if they both win, it's going to be them two. But yeah, it would be cool to see that first round revenge match.
What about this crazy matchup that could happen?
Yeah.
Timberwolves fall into the 8th seed, and it's Timberwolves and
Thunder?
round 1. That would be a great
That would be
matchup.
nasty.
That would be a
Edwards.
great
That would be
matchup.
nasty. That would be nasty.
Right?
SGA versus Ant.
Mhm.
I would love that.
That would be beautiful.
Wow.
That'd be beautiful. What about the East? What are we thinking? YBK, I'm gonna let you start it off. What are you thinking? What's a dream matchup for you?
A dream in the first would be honestly, what's tough. I like to see the Bucks and the Celtics, but that's hard too. And in terms of seeding, it's just tough. But in terms of first round, that'll be a cool first round to watch.
Dude,
Electric.
what are we thinking about Bucks and Pistons first round?
Oh, that could happen. That could happen if
That's the one.
Pistons go to
I think
5.
that's the one, bro.
That would be I feel like that's the one that like would be fun to watch. You got Cade versus Dame. You got some big boys that the Pistons have just to go against Giannis and the crew. Porter will be back
Yep.
from suspension. That would be, I mean, and it could be an upset for them.
You right. And you know why that would even be more perfect if that happened is because if you telling me that the Pacers and Pistons swap places right now so that it's Pistons Bucks and Pacers Knicks rematch, that would be amazing. That would be amazing.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
try to speak it into existence if I can. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That would be cool. You're right.
Is there any shot of any team to do like a Heat run when the Heat came in as a play-in team and made a run to the finals? Is there any of these 8 teams that y'all can think? I mean, looking at it, I feel like
Timberwolves.
it's a long shot this year.
Timberwolves out of those 8, maybe in my opinion. The East is tough. It's tough to see that, but I can see Timberwolves go into a deep one if they catch a fire.
If Ant gets hot,
Yeah.
I mean, he's played in Olympic ball, so like he could get hot. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Tyrese could you know what I mean, Halliburton could do something. You know what I mean, and so I would love to see if he played the Knicks and then he played the Cavs, what that would look like. I would like that. I'm not too worried about my Celtics. I want to see them in the finals against my Lakers. That would be nasty. You know what I'm saying?
That would be classic.
That'd be nasty.
Yeah.
Nasty.
But,
I wouldn't sleep on the Clippers either. I wouldn't sleep on the Clippers.
Okay.
Just because
Harden and Kawhi.
They're a decent team because I feel like they have a decent chemistry. It's really the offense that I feel like kind of like hampers them sometimes because like who's going to be the one to make the clutch buckets and the big buckets because Harden's still doing it, but it's hard to lean on him like that. But their defensive rating is very good. They're top 5 defensive team, the Clippers. So, yeah. Hey, maybe Clippers and Lakers would be a fire first round matchup too. So,
Yeah.
Well, we got some.
are we gonna have to do this right now? We're gonna have to do our previews. Who are we picking? We're gonna have to say preliminary thoughts on champs right now. Who are we picking?
We gotta save it for another episode.
No, I'm saying like if I have to pick today, because I might have a different answer for you before the playoffs starts. Yeah,
like the winner, like the winner.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie right now. Like I really want the Celtics to go back to back right now. But if you're asking me today, who would my initial pick be? It would be the Boston Celtics, mofo. Back to back, baby.
That's what I like to hear. That's what I like.
He was like, oh, there's all this and that. Oh, the Boston Celtics.
That's what
Got you.
All right. I got that. I'm with that. Listen, I'm gonna see your Boston Celtics in the finals, and I'm gonna raise you a Lakers banner. We're gonna do it. We're gonna make it poppin'. We're gonna stop the dynasty in the tracks. We're gonna let them know, and LeBron winning Finals MVP. Put them on. You know what I'm saying? Let them know. YBK, what we thinking?
I don't know what episode that was. I don't know what episode. Which episode? Episode 19.
20?
Episode 20. 19 or 20. YBK said, "I'm gonna take a hot take. Los Angeles Lakers about to win the NBA Finals in 2025. Let's go. LA Lakers about to win the NBA Finals."
Come on.
It would be crazy if it was Celtics too, though.
That's a dream matchup for
that
people,
would be a dream matchup. The
dream
viewership
matchup.
will be
Boston
insane.
Bring back the NBA, baby. Bring back the NBA.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
the classic.
We need that. We need either Cavs Thunder or Celtics Lakers. That's the two options that I'll offer for finals this year. I will refuse any other.
You don't want it.
I predict this is another hot take. I predict OKC Thunder is going to get eliminated after the second round, first or second, because they need some time. I feel like in playoffs, but yeah, that's another hot take.
Yeah.
I like that.
I said, YBK. I see.
I love it.
Yes,
I love it. Episode.
Nice, y'all. What do y'all? Anything else? I feel like this was a nice, fun NBA run through right now.
It was.
Like I love the end of the season as it starts cooking like this. You can smell it cooking in the kitchen. You wake up. What's that?
Playoff basketball's coming. Playoff basketball is coming. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Episode 22, guys. Oh, my goodness. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hope you guys enjoyed RCR Presents MSD Sports episode 22. My name is Sam. You can find me at YPK up in here. We got Michael John. You can find him at Michael John DeStefano. We got Camden here. You can find him at Mr. Club Paradise. And you can find us, MSD Sports, at RCR MSD Sports. We on Instagram, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio. And let's get it. And we'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace.
Peace and love, my guys.